Atomic.
Friday night's gonna be alright, gonna be right, gonna be alright now, baby. Friday night's gonna be alright, gonna be right, gonna be alright now, baby. Now, baby, so get ready for Friday night.
Hey, hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing really well out there on this Friday night. Yeah, we reached that peak, that crescendo of the week that is Friday, your gateway into the weekend. And I'm back with my Friday night episodes here. Well, we actually started last week when I teamed up with James and Fernando and we talked all things Europop, or actually UK versus Europop. Why some hits didn't hit the UK shores, especially back in the 1980s. It was very focused on the 1980s, but we also touched upon the 1990s actually. So if you missed out on that one and you're a big Europop fan, what are you doing? Check out that episode straight after this one, of course. Because tonight it's all about confessions. Actually, two confessions here. One from 1986 and one from 2026, this year. Yeah. So I think we'll start out with the most recent confession, and that of course comes from Madonna.
Thanks for coming. Sometimes I like to just hide in the shadows. But out here, on the dance floor, I feel so free. Everything begins with consciousness.
Yes, the icon, the legend that is Madonna has released a new album actually just a week ago. And it is, of course, Confessions 2. Who could have missed this one? It's been such a hype around this, as it should be, because it's Madonna, right? But I have to say something about this hype, because ever since I fell in love with Madonna's music back in the 1980s, I always been looking forward to a new Madonna album or a single, always been really, really excited. And initially, when I heard Madonna's going to come out with a new album, of course, I was excited about that. After all, it's Madonna, right? Yeah, but slowly but surely, over the weeks, I became a bit fatigued. Madonna fatigued, you might say. And I don't know really what it is, because in the day and age we live in, we are bombarded with a lot of promo videos and advertisement about any new album, especially from a big artist like Madonna. And there was also the numerous variants that you could buy or pre-order for this album, which was absolutely ridiculous. And I did talk about that in a previous video here on my channel, which should be a link up here if you want to go and check it out. But yeah, I think it's all of that combined perhaps made me feel a bit, yeah. Because when she released the first single leading up to this album, I was like, oh, this sounds really good. It's promising. I like the direction she's going in. And then the second single dropped and I was like, yeah, it's okay. I don't know, all of these elements, it might contribute to me feeling a bit fatigued about this album or leading up to this album. I don't know. But I'm mentioning this because I'm sure I'm not alone, or perhaps I am. I don't know. But I'm going to turn it to you guys as well. Please put down in the comments if you had the same feeling. It was just overblown, really. And yeah, also, of course, put your feelings around the album itself. And I'm talking to you guys who actually like Madonna, who listen to the album. You don't have to be a super fan or anything like that, but you must have listened to the album. I don't want critique down in the comments saying she's just crap or whatever, but I haven't listened to the album. Yeah. So just putting it out there. But yeah, but now that it has dropped, I got it in my hands. I'm really pleased to have a new Madonna album here to listen to, of course. So this is not going to be a full-fledged review, track by track or anything like that. I'm going to mention some of my favorite tracks and my overall impression of this album. And we're also going to have a look at the presentation of the packaging that I'm holding in my hand. This, by the way, is a double LP, 16-track album. So on this album, we are taken on a journey by Madonna, a nostalgic one. And that is quite rare, I have to say, when it comes to Madonna, because she rarely looks back on anything. Well, she can tell a story or two in interviews, of course, but when it comes to her music, she rarely looks back. And we could see that from any reissue that we have gotten from any of her old albums. We don't get a deluxeified edition of it. We don't get those extra tracks. But in the last year or so, we did get some things from both Bedtime Stories, of course, and A Ray of Light. So there was an opening on this, but I'm really not sure it was Madonna's initiative to put these out. So yeah, so this is quite rare. This is an album that is very personal to her as well. I would say perhaps her most personal album, and also her most cohesive album in many, many years. I am a fan of a previous album, Madame X, for example. I love that album, but the cohesiveness of this new album supersedes Madame X, we got Hard Candy, MDMA, and even Rebel Heart, I want to say. I think this is really, there is a very prominent red line throughout this record, and that is, of course, going to a club or different clubs throughout Madonna's life. And she is focusing in on the late 80s, the house boom, and we also get to spill over into the 90s with the techno, the drum and bass, and all of that. So that is what really forms a cohesiveness for me on this album. And just like its predecessor, Confessions on the Dance Floor from 2005, this is mixed like a DJ mix. So I really appreciate that, because that's what kept that album going. You really felt you were in the club and you were just dancing away seamlessly through the tracks. And she did exactly the same here. And of course, she is collaborating with Stuart Price, who also was a collaborator on that album. So yeah, a perfect follow-up to Confessions on the Dance Floor. So I'm going to start this mini review by listing some of my favorite tracks, the ones that grabbed me over this past week. And we'll start out with the opener of this album, I Feel So Free. This was, of course, also the first single released leading up to the album release. And I think it perfectly sets the mood for this album. We got Madonna whispering and talking a lot about what the dance floor is, and it's just great. I love what they have been, what they done with this track for sure, and it heavily leans on another track from 1980. Was it 88? It first came out. French Kiss by Lil Louis, and yeah, it's heavily influenced by that track. And I've been showing Lil Louis 12-inch singles here before on my channel, but I also want to show you this one. This is the excellent album From the Mind of Lil Louis from 1989. And if you got curious about you know, late 80s, early 90s house tracks from listening to this new Madonna album, I can highly, highly recommend that you go and listen to this one. It's an absolutely fantastic album from the mind of Lil Louis. But yeah, that first track heavily influenced by his hit single French Kiss from back in the day.
So how's your evening so far?
Bonsoir, ça va fantastique, mon amour.
But I don't blame them at all. It's a great track, probably one of the best house tracks ever made, in my opinion. And why not build a groove around that? They are doing their own thing with this, of course. It is Madonna's voice here. We got Stuart Price production, and we got some acid lines thrown in there, here and there. It really, really works well for me as album opener. Perfect. One Step Away is the next favorite track of mine. I love this one. Another house track that works so well. A lot of filtered sections in this one, and Madonna sounds absolutely fantastic on this track. It really should get you moving for sure. Yeah, really good. And then the next track that is one of my favorite tracks at the moment is Danceteria. It's a legendary New York club that Madonna went to, and this is her name dropping a lot of names, a lot of famous names, people that she hung out with and what they meant to her and all of that. It gets that you get that kind of a Vogue feeling, just dropping names, and it's a brilliant production once again. So I love this one. And then we have Love Without Words, with a lot of elements from both house and acid house in this one. Another track that I really feel works really well and wants me to get up and dance, even if it's 35 degrees inside most of the days now. I still want to go up and dance to that one. The next favorite track I want to mention here is Fragile, and this is from the latter part of the album, and that functions sort of a chill out session from all the clubbing that we've been doing from the previous tracks here. So this is the chill out zone where we can reflect and just relax from all that clubbing. And this particular track, Fragile, is Madonna writing about her brother, Christopher Ciccone, that passed away not that long ago. And it's about long lost memories and him coming to her in her dreams and say, "Don't forget about me." It's a very touching song with a brilliant chorus, in my opinion. And it's a bit of a drum and bass flavor track, very lightly so, I have to say, but she took those influences as well, of course, from the club scene of the 1990s. But absolutely stunning track. I find it very moving, and Madonna sounds great once again on this track. Love this one. And then my next favorite track on this Confessions 2 album is My Sins Are My Savior. And when I first heard this track last Friday, I just sat up in my chair and I was like, wait, I know this. I love this track. Yeah, and I wasn't referring to the Madonna track, but the elements that they heavily used on this one. It comes from the Swedish outfit Army of Lovers, yes, and My Army of Lovers came out in 1990, and I know, yeah, it's not much to look at here. It's actually a promo copy that I got back in 1990. But I love that track. Army of Lovers released some really great singles throughout the 1990s, in my opinion, but that still remains my favorite singles of there. It's quite unique. It's electronic music in a way I never really heard before that or since. Well, up until this Madonna track, of course. But it's not really house music, is it? Can you really say this is house music? Because in my opinion, they created something completely new, something that's uniquely theirs, Army of Lovers.
A time to go, a time to live, a place to be, a love to give. I'm traveling around the world, an army of lovers.
So I was thrilled when I heard this track, this new Madonna track, because of course I recognized all the elements because it's been heavily used in this one. The original one got these really nice, hauntingly beautiful piano lines running through it, and Jean-Pierre Barda from Army of Lovers, of course, speaks in French, very soft-spoken, and sets that unique atmosphere to it. And then going back to My Sins Are My Savior. I think they've done this in a very clever way, even if they use the the elements from My Army of Lovers very heavily on this. They did it in their own way. They twisted and turned all the things here. You can still hear it's My Army of Lovers here, but it's also a new Madonna song. Yeah, it's very cleverly done. I can't really explain it. And it might be me being biased here because I love the original track so much, and to my ears this is a remix of My Army of Lovers featuring Madonna, really. But yeah, they did a really good job, remix or not. I simply love this. You can't go wrong with those piano lines. And like I said, in the original, we had Jean-Pierre Barda doing the French-speaking parts here. Madonna has, and I will see if I can pronounce this right. I think it's Stromae, written like this, but I think it's supposed to be pronounced like Stromae or something like that. Someone please correct me if I'm absolutely wrong on this one. Yeah, so she has Stromae doing all the French speaking or rapping on this part, call it what you want. But yeah, it really sets the same mood that they managed to set in 1990 with Army of Lovers. Yeah. And I love it. And if I didn't say so to begin with, I think this is her most cohesive album. There is a true red thread throughout this one. And I also mentioned before, it starts out in the club. We are dancing up until the latter part of the album, which is just a chill out session, basically. And I love that. I really do. Well, not all of the tracks are bangers here. It is a club session. It's a DJ mix in my opinion. In my ears, this is a brilliant DJ mix. And not every track stands out here. This Sabrina Carpenter collaboration, for example, the second single she released leading up to this album, I think it was an okay deep house influenced track, but it's nothing that really grabs me. It's not bad. It's not super good. It's just an in-between. It's like you've been in a club. Not every track is a banger, right? So yeah, that's why I think this album works so well for me. Oh, and one more thing. I nearly forgot about this. And the main reason I had notes here was to read a couple of quotes that really resonates with me as well, from Madonna herself. And she says, among many other things, that the dance floors are a ritualistic space where you are free in your body and mind. You let go of anxiety, and hopefully it elevates you to a higher level of consciousness. And this ritualistic space, this dance floor, I could very much relate to that. She also mentioned this on the album amongst the many spoken passages like safety and numbers and all that. But when I started to discover the electronic music scene that was house and techno in the early 90s and went to clubs and raves, I always got that feeling we're all here together for the same purpose, the love of the music. Well, some people might claim it had something to do with drugs as well, but I still claim most of us were there because of the love of the music and danced the night away into a trance-like state, really, because the music was so monotone and but also varied in a way as well. It was a very, very unique experience, but we all were there, safety in numbers and all of that, right? And I never experienced any trouble whatsoever in any of those clubs or raves. We were all there for one purpose. And she also goes on to say that rave is an art. I'm not sure I would go that far, but it's about pushing your limits and connecting to a community of like-minded people. So there we go. Sound, light and vibration reshape our perceptions, pulling us into a trance-like state. The repetition of the bass, we just don't hear it, but we feel it, and we certainly did, alerting our consciousness and dissolving ego and time.
I can be whoever I want to be. Honestly, I wish I could be like other people and just not care. go dancing. Safety in numbers. But out here, on the dance floor, I feel so free.
I don't think this is Madonna's best album ever, but it works very well. And like I said, probably a couple of times here already, is a very cohesive album for me. It's got a really nice red thread to it, which works as good as it did for the first Confessions on the dance floor. Yeah. So yeah, those are my 2 cents about this. Now, let's go and have a look at the cover art. And like I said before, there were so many variations of this one, I stopped counting them at this point. So we had one option that you could pre-order, which was, of course, the 16-track album. But then there was a slew of variations for the 12-track as well. But of course, I opted in for the one with the most tracks. And I opted in for this one. It's called Numbered Edition exclusive clear vinyl. I only set my mind to get one of these. I saw no point in getting the 12 track at all, or have no interest in spending a lot of money on the same album just with different colored vinyl or different covers. But hey, each to their own. More power to you if you did. But now, the artwork. I'm not a huge fan of this. It's a bit of a roller coaster when it comes to artwork from Madonna's albums. I do like the picture overall. She's here in a confession mode, you might say, sitting on this, which looks at first glance like a old film strip of sorts, but it's actually speakers here. And the font and everything else, I don't think it works very well. But that's just me. I'm not a fan of it. But the most important thing is, of course, the music here. But also packaging does quite a lot, doesn't it? And if we turn it over, there's a different pose in her veil. And up here, we do have the number. I have 14,988 out of 20,000. So it's just stamped there in silver foil text, but nowhere is any real credits or a track listing for that matter. No, we don't have anything here. We have some credits here for the record company basically, and copyright and things like that. But since it's a double LP, we do get it in a gatefold, and there's not much more of information here, just a pair of legs and loudspeakers. And you might say, well, the inserts then, well, it's just black inserts. And the positive thing is that they are poly-lined. Yeah, they are. And inside, of course, on both of these, we do have a beautiful clear vinyl. And just to say a thing or two about the pressing quality, it's absolutely stunning. I had no problems at all with this. It's really dynamic. The soundstage is absolutely brilliant on this one. So yeah, overall, I'm very, very pleased with this. But once again, we don't get any information at all on any of the labels here. It's just different pictures of Madonna, and it indicates a 1 and a 2, and on the other ones, a 3 and a 4. So that's what we are getting when it comes to information. But also inside we did get a poster for this one, which looks like half a poster. So I was very curious if you bought another edition, if there was a continuation of this. But I'm not sure if there are. But yeah, this is what it looks like. And on the other side, we do have a track listing with all the lyrics. All the lyrics are here. And down here, we have a small space for some credits. But if you look at it down here, where Madonna looks like she got her nose bashed by a frying pan or something, I don't know, it looks really weird. It does say, for full credits, go to her website. And I know she's done this before. I think for some of her most recent albums, it was the same thing. But it's not really a good thing, because I know a lot of people will copy this and will be all over the internet for you to watch or read all the credits. But in 10 years' time, or even in 5 years' time, that site might be down, so I can't access it. But anyhow, I should be able to just pick up the album and play it and sit here and admire the artwork if you like it, but also to read the track listing here, and most importantly the credits. I shouldn't be able be able to get it online. I have to fire up, I was saying fire up my computer, we all have a phone, but I shouldn't be forced to go on a phone to read the credits for an album. It should be here on the product itself, crediting everyone who's been involved. That's my 2 cents about it. And then, just the other day, I got a package in my mailbox, and I was like, what is this? I opened it up, and it was this one. Yeah, so this is a picture disc, the Grinder exclusive, many X's there, of the 12-track album. And this was sent to me by my very dear friend Jen over at Jen's Addiction. Yeah, so if you're a long-time viewer of my channel, you know Jen. We've done a lot of collaborations. We're also part of the Vinyl Bunch, among so many other things. And she's a very dear friend of mine, and she was so kind of sending this one to me. Like I said, I didn't plan to buy any of the 12-track variations of this album, but I have to say the artwork on this one is far better than the double album that I got. So I'm so happy, and I'm so thankful to you, Jen, for sending me this one. Absolutely stunning, stunning stuff. And we don't get much of information here either. We do get a track listing, as you can see on the back here, and a beautiful picture here. I would love her to use this one as the main artwork for the double LP as well, but hey, we can't get it all. But now I have this picture disc, and as you probably saw here, I haven't unsealed this one. I will do, because I'm curious to listen to what it sounds like. It's a picture disc after all. Have they done a good job with it? But yeah, every single issue of this one, I'm not sure about the cassette and CD, but every vinyl issue of this one had this silver foil seal on it as well, and so did mine as well. And as you probably spotted, it's not there anymore. It's really easy to peel off, because once I broke it, I was like, I can just fold it in a bit and leave it on, but it wasn't really practical. The ends were frayed, and yeah, I just peeled it off in the end. And I probably will show you a video here of what it looked like when I received my double vinyl as well. But yeah, so thank you, Jen, for this absolutely stunning Grinder exclusive of Madonna's 12-track album Confessions 2. Oh, and we shouldn't forget about this. This was also included in my variation of Confessions 2. This is a claim check, something that you would get when you handed in your jacket or your handbag or whatever before entering the club. And I know a lot of people associated these numbers with a phone number in the US, apparently. So there are people who have posted videos here on YouTube and elsewhere calling this number, and you get a special message, but I won't reveal it here. You will have to go and look it up yourself. But yeah, this was included as well. Just a thin paper, like a claim check. And now to the second confession that I promised you. We're gonna go back to 1986, and the third album by Bananarama is released. It's called True Confessions. And it's been 40 years since then. I can't believe it, but we are celebrating it this year, the 40th anniversary. And to do that proper, they are releasing a slew of different True Confessions through their official store. So they have a double vinyl. It wasn't a double vinyl to begin with, but this time around you will get that with some extra tracks. And you can also buy a 3 CD box set with a lot of extra tracks, all the mixes that you can think of, some rare tracks, some unheard tracks, and new tracks as well. There's so many of them on these 3 CDs. And you can also buy 3 individual CDs. One depicting Siobhan, one Sarah, and one for Karen as well. All the 3 original members. And if you think, well, I can only pick up one of those, or perhaps the 3 CD one, it turns out during the last week I found out that there are probably hidden tracks on these individual CDs that are not part of the 3D box set. It's all very confusing. I don't have all the facts here, but it seems to be pointing in that direction. So yeah, we may have to buy all of them. Yeah. And then there, of course, is a cassette as well. There is a slew of merch as well, t-shirts, tote bags, you name it. And if you can't make up your mind of what you're going to pick up from this store, there is an all-in bundle kind of thing that you can buy. You will get all the merch, you will get all the different variations of True Confessions. And there is also, at least there was last week, I haven't checked this week, I should have, but I haven't, the individual CDs, you could buy them signed by all the 3 original members. If you bought the Siobhan one, it was signed by Siobhan. And if you bought the Karen one, it was signed by Karen. And Sarah, it was signed by Sarah. But I also heard that people outside the UK who tried to order these ones couldn't order them because it was exclusive to the UK. If that's true, you have to make amends here. You have to sign new copies and make them available outside of UK as well. It should be like that because Bananarama is an international phenomenon, not only for the people here in the UK. So I really hope that is the case, that it will be available for anyone else outside of the UK. And if we just have a quick look at the official Bananarama storefront here, we can see the bundles here, for example. We have the band member signed CD bundles that I was talking about, and the super bundle, that's what it was called, where you get everything in it, and the picture disc bundle and the double LP bundle. I totally forgot about that, the picture disc. It looks absolutely fantastic. Love myself a good picture disc. And something that I totally also forgot about mentioning before here was the bonus CD single that you got. I think it was the first 1,000 orders that included this bonus CD single. It is Venus and More Than Physical, but it's now unfortunately sold out. And what I reckon, what I managed to get the information on so far is that it includes some of the newer mixes of Venus and More Than Physical, perhaps along with the original extended versions as well, and dubs and whatever. But the new versions, at least, the new mixes, are in its full length, which you don't get if you buy the True Confessions free CD one. The mixes are included there, but at least what I gathered, they're not in their full length format, but you will get that on that CD single. But unfortunately it's sold out. I wish that they could have included that one for all of the orders, but hey. So yeah, there's a lot to choose from here, and if you haven't heard True Confessions from Bananarama before, I'm sure you at least heard one track from it, and that is Venus. That was a big single from this album, and you might say the real international breakthrough for them, by recording their own version of Venus. But there are other great singles from this. More Than Physical is another one. I prefer this one over Venus, to be honest. I think Venus is a bit overplayed, you might say, but yeah, there is some more nice grooves in More Than Physical. And then you have Do Not Disturb, and also one of my favorite all-time tracks from Bananarama, A Trick of the Night. And it's funny because the last 2 singles I've shown you here are produced by Jolie and Swain, and that is the production duo behind their second self-titled album as well, Bananarama. And yeah, they were included on the first album as well, but I think just to refer to the second album again, that style that we got on that one with Robert De Niro's Waiting, Cruel Summer, that is what you're going to get on this album, True Confessions, especially through songs like Do Not Disturb and the beautiful ballad A Trick of the Night. But then they mixed up things for this album because they hired the new newfangled producers of the time, PWL or Stockaitken and Waterman, and they produced Venus, of course. So it's got quite a different flair to it, and the same goes for More Than Physical. You can hear that these are standout numbers really on the album, but I think they gel together pretty well with the rest of the tracks. It sounds sort of a cohesive thing, but still, it's poking out here and there. The upbeat Bananarama that you might be acquainted with you know, Cruel Summer, or the album that comes after True Confessions, Wow, where we had I Heard a Rumor and all of these other big hits. Love in the First Degree, for example. It's that upbeat, disco-inspired tracks. You won't get that really on True Confessions. It's more akin to the second album, so that's why I was starting talking about the second album. But at this point, I'm just rambling. But if you haven't checked out True Confessions before, please do so. And I also want to hear from you guys as well. What is your favorite Bananarama album? And you know where to put your answers down in the comments. Of course. Yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling now. I think this heat wave that we are going through here, once again in the UK, is getting the better of me. And I know a lot of people around the world are facing the same situation now. So let's do the sensible thing now. Go out and meet the weekend by staying cool and keep playing that music. Yes. And before I leave you, I want to say a big thank you to all of you who tuned in to this Friday night episode. And I want to hear from you all down in the comments what you think about these different confessions that I was talking about today. My mini review of Madonna's Confessions 2. What is your review of it? What was your perception of her new album? And of course, the True Confessions from Bananarama as well. Are you getting that 40th anniversary? And if so, what iteration of it are you going to get? Is it all or just one or two items? I want to hear all about it down in the comments. But now let's stay cool. I will be back next Friday, heatwave or not. I will be back talking about music. But until then, you all take care of yourself. And I'm going to give you, as usual, a very warm Swedish adieu to you all.
The movie rolls on, there ain't no more love scenes, the romance is gone. It's a one-man show, it's moving real slow, but it's picking up speed as I'm turning the key. I'm coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up. Hey, the fire